I want to start this video off by saying I am not Team Jeremiah. I don't think anyone is. I think the only people that say they are rage baiting. I am just making this video to explain why no one is Team Jeremiah and the failed attempt of a love triangle in The Summer I Turned Pretty. I genuinely do not think Jenny Han, if she intended to do a love triangle, she failed miserably, because who is rooting for Jeremiah in this environment? Who is doing that? He is so deeply flawed in the way that Conrad shines. He cheated on her. I do not think Jenny Han intended for a love triangle. And I just think if anyone interpreted it that way, I don't want to say they did it wrong, but I just want to say you didn't do it right. Because I'm thinking Jenny Han knows how to do love triangles. Think about EXO Kitty or To All the Boys I've Loved Before. She has done authentic love triangles where there have been people rooting for the other side, which is what I think love triangles are meant to do. Think about all the iconic pop culture and postmodern love triangles that I've grown up with. So obviously we've got the like Stancy, Jancy, Steve and Nancy, or Nancy and Jonathan tropes. We've got the, obviously, also in Stranger Things, I think the biggest one, Byla x Maleven. No one knows who's going to do that. Everyone just agrees Mike is awful. And I've seen a lot of people going, I don't give any shits. I just want them to be fine. And then also, like, Paxton, Davy, and Ben. I've seen so many people just, like, they don't know, I think those are the best types of love triangles because you've got so many people rooting for the other ones. I think what Jenny attempted to do was like an early 2000s one, which was like, I think Twilight, which I do still think had a cult following for Edward and Bella and Jacob and Bella. Sorry, I haven't really watched Twilight. I'm a fake fan. But I think she tried to do that because, like, while there were people rooting for Edward, while there were people rooting for Jacob, everyone knew she would get with Edward. I think she tried to do something like that, but I'm going to talk about why there was I believe it was a failed attempt at a love. I don't think it was an attempt at a love triangle. I think it was an attempt to make Conrad look even better because his character was kind of stained after season 1, especially how he treated like Belly and stuff. I don't think anyone's actually rooting for Jeremiah. I just think Jenny Han either failed really badly at making a love triangle, which is weird because she's made really good ones in the past, or again, as what I said, trying to make Conrad look better and make people forget his mistakes, because the mistakes he made were, while they weren't great, like breaking up with her at her formal or forgetting the corsage, Jeremiah cheated on her twice. So, like, you know, anyway, Jenny just made it really hard for the fandom to just collectively get behind Jeremiah at any point in the time. Like, at any point in time, think about it. Like, she made him cheat. She made him cheat. She made him so childish and so selfish and so deeply flawed. Like, he put his dad in 20 grand of debt and was like, Dad, why are you mad at me? Dad, I just want to play beer pong with the boys. And it's like, okay, I don't agree with comparing siblings, but when one's a doctor and one's putting you in 20 grand debt, yeah, I'm picking favorites. I'm sorry. Also, talking about hard degrees to get into, guess who just got into law? I did. I'm so proud of myself. Sorry, that's a side rant. I got into law, so I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be a lawyer. I don't know what type of lawyer I'll be. So if anyone is a law student or studying law or has any insight, can you please comment? Also, if anyone's Team Jeremiah, genuinely, also please comment. And also, tell me to delete my YouTube channel if this is going to affect my future negatively. Thank you. Unless I become like a media lawyer. Anyway, moving on again. I'm going to talk about the way also, okay, so one, Jeremiah's actor is largely disliked by the fandom. And I'm going to say rightfully so. He supports Israel and Trump. And if you didn't get anything from the past videos I've been doing, I am very against both those things. Very against Israel, very against Trump. Fuck both of them. I'm sorry. Like, am I going to be shot for saying that? Please don't. I really like my life, but, yeah, like, fuck Trump. But, like, I actually really like the girl that plays Belly. She is very openly pro-Palestinian, pro-Kamala, pro-blue. Very, very democratic, whereas Jeremiah's actor is quite Republican publicly. So I think, like, also being a show for teenage girls that lots of teenage girls watch, women are normally more likely to be democratic than men. So to make a show for girls and for like the female gaze, and to have like a Republican who are like, Republicans actively protest against abortion. They are very like, obviously nothing wrong with being religious, but they're very in for like religious instituted into law, often against gay people. Like, to have someone that represents those values, like, that's just what I correlate Republicans with, like homophobia, pro-life, and just like extreme Christianity is kind of how I associate Republicans. And I'm sorry if that's wrong, but that's how I see them, and that's probably how every other teenage girl watching The Summer I Turned Pretty sees them. And so to see this awful character represented by these awful ideologies that actually go against their rights probably doesn't make the character any more likable. Also, we got the inside scoop that Belly was not over Conrad. Like, she would still think about him all the time, even when, like, she was with him, and there were so many just parallels where Conrad, like the lunch scene where Conrad chose I love Belly's mum, bro. When Belly's mum was like, I'll pay, and they were like, I'm getting the most expensive item on the menu, bitch. And Conrad was like, thanks, Laurel. I'll get the cheapest one. Which is what you do, by the way, when someone else is paying for your food. Like, I don't, you know, they're fictional. They're fictional. I'm an adult. It's fine. But, yeah, scenes like that obviously made it very clear to the audience Conrad was the right choice. And just, yeah, stuff like that. But also, I'm gonna say, personally, I do believe, like, if this was a real story, like, if these were people I know, I would probably be Team Jeremiah. Unless only if I didn't know about the cheating. But, like, I'd be, yeah, you've been with this guy for like, if we got the authentic real life view without the cheating, like if he didn't cheat and we got the authentic view, I think a lot more people would be Team Jeremiah. So I think that giving us the inside scoop and like showing us his flaws in such a highlighted way, in the same way we didn't see Conrad's flaws highlighted, I think if we had that opportunity, there would be more people pro Jeremiah. Like, if we got Loverboy Jeremiah, who genuinely loved Belly and would treat her so good, and they were in love together, and we didn't see that she was still like in love with Conrad and vice versa, we didn't see that, I think it would be fine. Personally, I think Belly needs some time by herself, and I think Conrad needs to get with that redhead baddie, and I think Jeremiah needs to be isolated from everyone. But I do think, like, if we didn't have that inside scoop and we were just part of Belly's life and we didn't know about the cheating, yeah, I completely agree. I do not think I think a lot more people would be pro Team Jeremiah. But because we got that inside scoop, and because Jeremiah was so flawed, we didn't get that inside. We got that inside scoop, and no one is Team Jeremiah. But so that is why I genuinely think it was never a love triangle, because Jenny Han went that extra mile to make Jeremiah seem like an idiot and a loser in the way that Conrad seemed like the goat. Like, I genuinely believe in my soul and my heart that Jenny Han did not make a love triangle. She made a love story between Belly and Conrad. A complicated one, but a love story. Because think about the like love triangles I mentioned earlier from Never Have I Ever and Stranger Things. Fandoms are divided. On all of them, I don't know. I'm Byla, definitely Team Byla. I'm sorry, Mike is toxic to 11. She doesn't deserve that. Also, she needs to learn how to, like, function. Because everyone's like, oh my god, but season 1 Mike was obsessed with 11. Season 2 Mike was obsessed with 11. Because she was a superhero. Hello? Are we, like, kidding ourselves? If 12-year-old me, okay, stumbled across someone the gender I wasn't attracted to, which, who knows what that is, but, like, you know what? Okay, wait, scratch that. You don't need to know that about me. But, okay, hold on. Okay, if I stumbled across someone in the woods and they get a superpower, I don't care if I'm gay or straight. I'm going to be obsessed with them. Hello? Like, that's so normal, especially if I'm 12 and my best friend went missing and they're like, I can find her. My best friend went missing. This girl said she can find her. Okay? Like, everyone's like, Michael's obsessed with 11. I would be too. Hello? Hello? She's a superhero. Why would he not be? Like, that would be concerning. Also, like, people are like, well, he kept looking for her in season 2. Yeah, because she evaporated. She evaporated in front of his eyes. I would also be looking for her. Hello? You can have friends that you're worried about. My God. Anyway, but season 2 rolls around. The Byler content in that season is crazy, bro. Crazy. Also, season 4 basically made it canon that Will was in love with Mike. And I don't think Mike's gay. I think he's probably like bi or whatever. He's probably not going to admit it, but Will is definitely more in love with Mike than 11 is. I just don't think 11 and Mike work together. And I think that's probably the main reason why I'm Byler, because have you guys seen that relationship is so toxic right now. But that's me. That's me on Byler. But like Stancy, Jancy, I don't know. I toss and turn between the two depending on which edit I saw the last. I was actually team, I'm gonna come out. I was team Stancy for years. Like, I watched that in 2019 and I was like, Steve, all the way. Steve, Joe Keery, Djo, like, are we serious? Why would you choose Jancy? And I've recently been rewatching it and I'm like, oh. But still, I'm like, girl, he took naked photos of you while you weren't looking. Like, babe. Why are we with him? Why are we with him? I would not care. I do not care which one she ends up with, but I do think it will be Jancy. Or they both die! Or Steve and Jonathan get together and we get Yowie. Oh my God, this was a Summer I Turned Pretty video. Anyway, fuck Jeremiah. Fuck Jeremiah. Fuck Conrad. Fuck Susanna. Fuck everyone in that family, actually. Like, genuinely, they all suck. Belly is the only good one. I'm sorry. I'm team Belly. All the way. Fuck Jeremiah. Belly, I will treat you better. Come here, babe. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna just read this. I'm just gonna read this, like, last bit. Okay. This is about, like, the other love triangles I just, like, said. No one knows what's going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen or who they're going to end up with. There is so much infighting within fandoms. Generally, no one knows what's going to happen. Whereas the Summer I Turned Pretty largely failed that. No one rooted for Jeremiah, and it was so obvious that Belly was going to choose Conrad and that Conrad was the right choice to choose. I feel like a lot of the time in love triangles, they choose one and they're like, was that the right choice? I feel like that's also another thing. Like, To All the Boys I Loved Before, bro, I'm team John Ambrose all the way. Like, Peter was not the right choice for that girl at all. But, like, we roll with the punches, I guess. We roll with the punches. But that's fine. But, yeah. Okay, that's it. That's it. I'm sorry this was so long. And I'm not cutting it. I'm not editing it. I love you all so much. Give me advice because I need it. And I'm giving it to 45 people on the internet. Also, thank you so much for the support I've been getting. I love you all so much. Also, I have more videos than the Shauna Shipman one, and I know it's my most popular one by far. But if we could show the same love to, like, any of my other videos, that would be so great. I don't know what I did differently in that one. I've used the same tags in all my other Yellow Jackets videos, but that is the one that consistently gets the most views. And while I'm so grateful that it's getting views, because, again, I stand by that view, can we show the same love to all my videos? Please, YouTube? Hello? Anyway, love you all. Bye. Thank you.